Hey, what's up, guys? I'm doing a interesting video for you guys. So Friday night of last week, I actually did a Modern Horizon 2 draft. Um, so I want to discuss the deck that I had played for that event. So I of course ran Tyzer's Charger in the deck because it's a Pegasus, and so that counts as basically a horse. Um, but I also played the Arcbound cards, which actually did more work than actual horse itself. So I wanted to talk about the event and kind of how it went and kind of the reason why I chose the different cards I did. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So first one I have is Nightmare, which I know you guys can't really see the cards, but I'm gonna read off the effects to you. So it has two in a white, and it has adapt for one. So it has no +1/+1 counters on it. You can put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then its second effect is whenever it gets one or more counters on it, then it gets double strike until end turn. Which was completely just nasty with how my build was. Um, Now, I didn't really win any of my games. I got really, really stupidly close on a lot of them, but I unfortunately didn't really win any of my games. Um, but it was definitely a lot of fun to actually play the deck. Um, so the next one was, or I only, or I only had like one of the Night Mirror. Um, so the next one was Blossoming Calm, and I only had one of that as well. So, basically, it's just a one cost. You gain hexproof, and then until your next turn, and then you gain 2 life. And then it also had rebound. If you cast this spell from your hand, exile it as it resolves at the beginning of your next upkeep. You may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. So, that wasn't actually too bad. I didn't really I don't think I really drew it. I don't think so. I mean, I play one Arcbound Javelineer. Um, so it's basically another one cost, which is basically what the whole Arcbound deck is. Is like the whites are basically one cost to three, and then the reds are like 3 to 4 costs. So, um, but basically you tap it and then remove X +1/+1 counters, and then deals X damage to target attacking or blocking creature, and then it has module for 1. So yeah, and then Arcbound Prototype, just a 2 cost module for 2. So put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and then I ran 2 Meyer Scrapling. So you sacrifice it, and then you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. So yeah. So you can kind of see where I'm getting at with this deck on more. I made more mono white, but I just had at least 2 black creatures in there. And then I ran 3 of the Unbound Potential. So you choose one, put +1/+1 counter on up to 2 target creatures, or you proliferate, which you choose any number of permanents and or players, and then give them each another counter. So yeah, that was actually not too bad for being a 2 cost. So yeah, and then one Tyzer's Charger says escape for 5. So you exile 5 cards and then you pay 5, and then once it escapes, with your choice of a +1/+1 counter, or it gains flying. Um, so Unfortunately, I didn't really get to use it, but it was there just in case. So yeah. Um, two blacksmith or two blacksmith skill. So it's basically a one cost. Target opponent gains hexproof and interval until end turn. If it's an artifact creature, it gets +2/+2 until end turn. Um, so that was kind of handy for a sealed format because there's quite a bit of rule in a sealed format. So that was actually pretty nice. So, and then 3 Arcbound Mauser. So it had lifelink and then module for 1 for it being a 1 cost. So that wasn't actually too bad. The lifelink was actually kind of nice. And then I did run 1 multicolor card. Breathless Knight. So it's 1 generic mana, 1 white and 1 black. So it had flying lifelink. And then where it or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if that creature enters from the graveyard, or you cast it from the graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So that kind of would have worked well with my Tazer's Charger, but I didn't really draw the Breathless Knight Owl, so it's kind of meh. So, Sinister Starfish. So it's basically just a 0/3 for 2 cost. And then you tap it in and surveil for 1. So you basically look at the top card and decide whether you want to keep it or put it into the graveyard. So yeah. So I didn't really draw that one either. Landscaper Kolos. So I mainly was going to try to use that for the basic land cycling. So that was basically the kind of the goal. So just to get more lands on field. So and then Steel Dromedary. So it's a 3 cost. It's a camel. So it enters tapped with 2/+1/+1 counter on it. And then it doesn't untap until the counters leave, which is kind of the unfortunate part. But basically, when you entered combat or beginning of combat, you remove a +1/+1 counter from that card to another target creature. So that kind of let you make things a little more buff, which was kind of nice. So, yeah. So. And then Vectus gloves, which I never really used, so that's kind of meh. Zoran Orb, it's a 0 cost artifact, sacrifice land and you gain 2 life. So that wasn't too bad, especially on the extra lands I kind of had on the field. I could just stack 1 and just gain 2 life. So that wasn't really too bad. And then Sojourner's Companion. I kind of misplayed actually with this card for myself. Because I had actually pulled the blue-black or the blue-black artifact land. And I had actually put it in my deck, and I actually personally forgot about that. And so here I was thinking that it was kind of useless, and it was like, no, I probably could have actually done something with it. So, but that's A-okay. It was just kind of, I wasn't really doing anything in my hand anyway. So because I didn't really have the land base for it. So, but yeah. So that's basically kind of it with the pre-release or the draft deck that I had put together. So it was, like I said, it was a lot of fun. I really actually thoroughly enjoyed it. The deck did fairly well. I was happy with how it went. The Knight of Mirror with that double strike. Ugh, that was disgusting. Um, Especially with all the plus one encounters I had and all the different things to put plus one counters on different creatures and stuff like that. It just made just absolutely just disgusting. Um, my one opponent had actually that blacksmith skill. I actually protected that from, or either protected that or another creature from a removal. Um, but the game two, he finally got rid of it, and I just kind of lost from there. But yeah, it was definitely very very fun. That card was definitely a serious threat in a sealed format. Especially with how scary it was. Because I think max was like 6 counters, 6 or 7, and it was streaming for 14, 6, 12 or 14 every turn. So yeah, it was definitely terrifying. So, but yeah, so that's basically it for just kind of the draft, um, Arcbound kind of horse deck that I made for draft. Um, so yeah, so thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. In case the sound quality is a little bit different, I did get a new computer because my other one is just kind of like 5 years old and it was just kind of slowing down. So I got a new computer, and so I definitely have a lot more um better stuff. So hopefully the sound quality is a little bit more better. I'm still using the same mic, but just pretty much maybe with the new computer it sounds a little bit more better. So um, but yeah, so thank you all for listening, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Alright, I guess.